actually lucked out in 2022, right?
Yeah.
I never like touched leak code like seriously, but then Amazon, of course, being the only FAANG that would ever reach out to me,
Yeah.
actually reached out to me this July for to recruit me. And finally, I started taking leak code serious. Actually, like addicted to it now. Not gonna
Addicted.
lie.
It's
Yeah,
fun,
I
huh?
mean, I it's fun, but I'm so trash at it. So I'm try to improve as much as I can. And I've watched you before. And I was like, you know what? Let me embarrass myself live. So
And let's get it. I mean, this is
yeah,
put your skills to the test right now.
no, the lack of skills, let's just say.
Okay, so you're already a software engineer two
Yep,
at a Fortune 500 company. You've solved 183 leak code questions already.
yep,
Damn, that's pretty good. And you're taking the Georgia Tech online masters?
yep. I
Perfect.
actually just started like this past week.
How
So
is it? Is it hard or not really?
yeah, I mean, it's just like because I like so my specialization that I'm going into is computational perception and robotics,
Damn,
which has a
fancy.
lot of artificial intelligence into it. So like a lot of probability. I don't know why I chose this, but like I hate probability, and that's literally the only thing that I'm like studying right now. So
Yeah.
I'm actually hating life right now. So
I mean, you're trying to get into the AI stuff then, I guess, huh?
yeah, I ideally I would want to like um uh what do you call it, like do like self-driving cars, like at
Nice,
least help out on that. That's like my main goal,
nice.
either that or actually create my own startup for robotics. I don't know.
Dude,
So
no, that's sick. So
yeah,
out of 183 questions, how many? What's the breakdown? What's how many easies? How many hards? How
I
many
think
mediums?
yeah, it's mostly I think I'm around 100 mediums, like
Oh yeah.
90 easies, and then like three hards or like something like that. Like, let me check actually
Then
my
you
breakdown.
just got straight into the mediums then, huh?
Yeah, I just went. Yeah, honestly, it like so as of right now, I can only like I can figure out most of the time like the patterns, but sometimes most of the time I choke on like actually implementing like in like the more like problems that need like specific intuition into it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so my breakdown is medium 107, 80 easy, and then 11 hard.
I see. Nice. So the only company right now that you're prepping for is Amazon. So you just have to hit like land this
No,
Amazon or
that's yeah, like honestly, after Amazon reached out to me, I was like, why don't I apply to like practically everywhere and check uh my like how attractive quote unquote I am.
yeah.
So Microsoft wants a phone screen. Google actually also wants a phone
Oh wow.
screen. Um, and then Meta rejected me. But I have like a couple of interviews for like not necessarily no name companies, but like non-tech companies as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a good strategy. You should, since you're already prepped, just try to get into as many company or try to get as many interviews as you can, because
yeah, yeah,
you'll have multiple chances, and you're just gonna get better and better.
yeah, exactly. Like I did my first mock ever like last week, and this is like my second mock.
Oh
So
wow. You just found a friend to run the mock on you.
no, I got like a freebie at like interviewing.io.
I see.
So it was a pretty, I mean, it wasn't hard, but like I needed like faster reasoning and like faster implementation. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna post in the first question,
cool.
and you're pretty much going to have about. We're gonna try to work through 1 to 2 questions. Probably spend 20 to 25 minutes on each question,
All
just
right.
so I can get a sense of how you are with like two different questions. So
Cool.
focusing on more breadth over depth. But Yeah, I'm gonna post in the first question and run it through like you would do in a regular interview. What language do you like to use?
Python.
All right, sounds good. So this is the first question. What we want to do is reverse the words in the string. So you could see
Okay.
how all the words are reversed. So it goes blue is sky da when it used to be the sky is blue.
Yep.
Yep. And if you can solve this fast, we can move on to a different one. But yeah,
Cool.
you have up to 25 minutes on this.
Yeah. So let me see here. Okay. The first thing that I noticed in terms of just like edge cases is like the white space. Um, so in terms of the output, we want to remove like leading and trailing white spaces and have proper spacing in between. Like for example, here at it asks like we remove like the 3 white spaces,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Do we need or do I need to account for non-alphanumeric numbers?
Good question. Let's assume everything's just English characters.
Okay.
Not like ones or no digits.
Okay. Yeah, let me see here. In terms of like naive solution, to be honest, I think we could just trim, so that removes like the leading and trailing white spaces, and then split, uh, so that it turns the entire string into words, split by like the spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't know the behavior of split in this case where there's 3 white spaces, but uh, and then in that way, you can use 2 pointers to just like switch all of the honestly, or you can even just can you use reverse? Yeah, I think you can. You can just reverse it using the reversed method slash function. I think that's I think in terms of naive solution is what I would do. And then I think in that case, what it would be O of n, right? And then space complexity would be O of n as well. So let me see here. In terms of an optimal solution, you could just, how would that work? So we can traverse the string like index by index. And then if we are not or if we come across an alphanumeric character, that means that it's the start of the word. And we can just build the word itself using that. So like for here, like for example here, figure out that this is, or actually this is a better here. We keep going, we do like a loop through the entire string, and then just keep going. Get this white space, and then the moment that we see an alphanumeric character, we create a new, we insert into a variable and just keep on adding into that variable until we meet another white space, and then we add that to like an array.
So what was wrong with your first approach?
I mean, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with it. It was just a more like it just uses a lot of Python functions. Are you good with that
Yeah,
approach?
I'm good with that approach. So
Okay.
could you explain it again? So you're gonna strip it, then
Yep.
split it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
what?
yeah. Yeah, and then you could just use the like I believe it's called reversed function. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
reversed function to actually reverse that split, that list.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's how it works. I rarely use that function anyway. So let me actually try that.
Yeah. Go ahead and try that approach.
Okay. Let's see here. Reverse string. Okay. And then it's a string. Oh, words. Okay, let's just do S here. Right. Okay. Trim equals S. Is it just? I've forgotten how to use. Could I use the AI?
Yeah, you can use the AI.
Uh, oh, it's strip.
Mhm.
Strip. Okay, so then that creates a list. Let me see how that behaves with this example here,
Mhm.
so that I can see. Oh, I'm dumb. Ah, why does it look like that? Uh,
That's good now.
oh, okay, cool. All right, so it does actually not remove the white spaces there. And here, just for confirmation. Yep. Okay. So then we do what is it called? Why am I blanking out? Split or I've forgotten
What do you think about the how to?
the method for actually splitting it. Isn't it just split?
You could ask the AI.
Uh,
I like this AI.
yeah, it is. Okay. Split, and we split on white spaces. So then let's just run that and check that. Yep. Okay. And then let me try this one, see how that behaves. Interesting. Okay. So it does. Let's see. Okay. I mean, it's reversed. Oh, reverse iterator. I guess the E. Let me just do it the other way, right?
Which other way?
It's just looping through the entire for word and split, rather than using like the reversed function. Because
What's
anyway,
wrong with the reverse function?
we technically, so for example, like this one right here, the split is actually putting in like empty strings in between.
Okay.
So we need to account for that anyway. So we might as well just use a for loop and determine if it's actually a word or not.
Like, how
So
can we modify the split in order to not do that?
I'm not familiar. Is it? Let me look at the AI.
Maybe ask the AI. Like ask the AI for the doc string on that.
The what? Sorry.
Or it says the summary of the split method. It tells you this. It gives you a summary of what the split method actually does. Try to read that description and let me know what you think.
Right. You're specifying the maximum number of splits.
What about separator?
I mean, in this case, default is any white space. So we can just not put anything in here, and then it would just do that. We'll just remove the, oh, it is. Okay. I'm asking the AI something else specifically for the reversed. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
Do you know what an iterator is, or an iterable in Python?
yeah, well, not in Python, actually. So that I rarely use this one, but it's a good learning example. Good. And then so you want it in as a string, actually, not a list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just do it that way? Or actually, no. That's not the right way to do it. It's and then join leave spaces. There you go.
Nice. Okay. Here's the follow-up.
Cool.
Down here, 26.
String data type is mutable in your language. Can you solve it in place with O1 extra space?
Yep. We could just talk about it. What would be your approach?
Okay. Interesting. Yes, so then this would O1 extra space, huh? So then I think my second solution would work this out properly. Like if we loop through the entire string to figure out if we're looking at the start of a word, which means that we check if the index currently is storing an alphanumeric.
Mm-hmm.
That means that we're storing a word there. And then
Then what?
ooh, I guess it could be like a 2 pointers, right? We pointing at the end, or we have something that's always pointing towards the end, and then we just append it. Like the left pointer is the one searching for the word itself, and then we append it to whatever the right pointer is pointing to.
Wait, what would that look like here? Like, could you show me here? Like if we had like a left pointer and a right pointer?
Yeah. So right here, okay. So here, our left index is has realized that we're at the start of a network because it's an alphanumeric. So then we store that variable at the very beginning, or we store that index at the very beginning. So in this case, we have like a variable that's like left start equals 0, right? And then we loop through, we keep going. Left becomes 1, left becomes E. And then at this point, we realize that we're no longer, or we have a white space. So then we do left minus 1 would be 2, right? And at this point, a word is complete. And do we, I think since and our right pointer is what? It's at the end.
It's at the end.
Right. So in this case, I mean, I guess you don't necessarily need to. You could just delete this entire thing, cut it, and then add it, like s plus equals, like,
Add it to the end here.
yeah. Well, in Python that wouldn't work because strings are immutable.
Or we're assuming space is immutable. Or
Oh,
mutable.
right. Makes sense. Yep. Yeah. So then you can just add it in, like, rather than just like not having the R, or you don't even necessarily need that R anymore, right? Because then you're like s plus equals, like stir left start to left. Actually, in this case, you would need
But then
that.
isn't that using up extra space?
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. So then that means
Like,
that we
why would
also
that
need,
use up extra space?
I technically, because you are storing, because you're adding like a duplication of the current word that you're at. So it that's why it adds extra space there, or at least that's why I think you think it adds
Okay.
extra space,
Yeah,
right?
the array by the end of it is gonna be double the size.
Yep.
So it doubled.
Yep. Yeah. So
So
in
it's
this case,
adding, it's
then,
using over and extra space. Like, depending on
right,
the current size of the array, it's gonna be double.
right, and then in this case here, then, so to not use any extra space, then we also would want to do the same thing for right and figure out the, like a right start and then a right end, right? In this case, I don't know how long this string is, but we loop through like in reverse technically here, right? In this case, E is alphanumeric, so we keep on going, right? We keep on going until we get to a white space, and then at that point you swap your left pointers, or the left and right word. Does that make sense?
Wait, could you repeat that? You're gonna swap.
Yeah. So like we do the same thing with the right pointer, and we figure out like how big the word is, right? And in this case, at that point, once we actually figure out that we have a word completed, with the right pointer, we swap the left and the right,
How are
uh,
we gonna swap the left and right word?
using these right here. We keep track of like the indices of where, the words actually start and end. And then in that case, that might also, yeah. I mean, that does pose a problem
Like
when they're
what?
like,
Different
go
lengths,
ahead.
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. That does, because then at this point, it might. Ooh, this is such an interesting follow up. Mm-hmm. I'm a little stumped right here. Yeah, but is that kind of like what you were
Like,
envisioning in terms of
I see what you're thinking. You're trying to swap word by word. So you're trying to find the
yeah,
first word and trying to find the last word and then swap them and
right,
find the second word and the like the second word and the second to last word and then swap them. But
right,
it's tricky because they're not the same size.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I still think that, we could trim, right? That still is the same. But the two pointers, I think, is the only solution here. I don't see
Mm.
any other way that we could really,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a two pointer solution, but I don't think you're like It's slightly different than what you're thinking here.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, let's go. Let's move on to the next question
Cool, cool,
actually,
cool. All right.
because we're already 20 minutes on this. We're gonna switch to a graph question. Makes it easier.
Perfect.
Is that your strong suit? Strong suit?
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
I find them more intuitive. I hate strings, so this is like my worst case scenario.
Yeah, yeah. Strings are pretty difficult. This is a classic. You might have seen it already.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh, you've
Not
seen it?
necessarily. Not necessarily like it's been a long time since I solved it though. Not gonna lie. I think this was like I went through like NeetCode,
Yeah.
and like this was one of it, and so it was like the last time I reviewed this was like a month ago. So this would be a good refresher because it's pretty complex in terms of like
Okay.
what you need to do. Okay. So I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, it's here. This is the height.
Okay.
This is the first example.
All right. Oh Lord,
It's long.
it is a lot. Okay. So we have our input is an n by n matrix, and the specific problem that we're trying to figure out is give the specific coordinates within the matrix that is actually able to reach the coast, quote unquote, either the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. And the only way that, and the criteria of whether or not they can reach the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean is if there's a path, I think a decreasing path, right, from wherever the oceans are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's get into the drawing so we could explain to chat because it's a lot of words here.
Yeah. You want to draw it?
Yeah.
Where's the drawing? Okay.
So pretty much there's the Pacific Ocean.
Yep.
The Pacific Ocean is here. We have it in blue, or is this
Yep.
Atlantic, whatever. And then this is the Atlantic. So
Yep.
we want to see which cells will actually flow to both the Pacific and Atlantic. So pretty much we just how it travel, or if it rains, we want to know which cells will
Yep.
like empty out into both oceans. So
Yeah,
what's the condition for it to like move down? So pretty much the neighboring cells is less than or equal to the current cell's height. So for
Yep.
example, one of the ones is 0 and, or let's look at this one, 5.
Yep.
So I think at 5, 0, 1, 2. Okay, at 5, it flows into both oceans because from 5 it goes to 3, it can go to 2. And then it can flow down this way.
Yep.
So it can only go from less than or equal to, I think. Less than or equal to. Yeah, it can flow like from a higher cell, it can move down to a neighbor if it's less than, or if the neighbor is less than and equal to it. So you can just think, yeah, it's basic physics, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it's never gonna like be able to go upwards to
Right.
neighbors.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
the insights here, I'm gonna write down. So for key insights, right, we're dealing with a graph. which means that we're either going to have a solution of depth first search or breadth first search. I believe you can do both here. In terms of optimal, I don't think there is any difference between the two. But I think the strategy is rather than actually looping through the entire matrix, right? And I'm gonna draw right here. Like rather than looping through the entire matrix, you actually start from where the oceans start. That way, you technically already have, or it's much easier to figure out from like source of where potentially any coordinates can reach any ocean, and then at that point, right, we collect coordinates that reach the Pacific Ocean, and then coordinates that reach the Atlantic Ocean, and then at the end, we wherever we're storing those answers or those coordinates, we just pick the intersection of those two lists, and that way we get what coordinates actually reach both. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, depending on how you want me to solve this, I can see a depth first search solution or breadth first search solution here. So how do you want me to solve it?
Which way do you think is going to be the best?
If I remember correctly, depth first search is easier implementation, but I've forgotten how to do it. But breadth first search is also, like, I think I learned this with breadth first search. And I do want to try with breadth first search because I don't like DFS is not, well, technically, like I've done DFS a lot, so.
Okay. You're going to perform BFS from where? Like, how is it going to work again? Could you
Yeah. So we're going to queue up all of the coordinates that are like touching the Atlantic Oceans,
Sure.
or Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, right? We're going to have two arrays. Let me actually undo that. So we're going to have two arrays of different colors, right here, right? So we're going to store all of those into, I believe, the queue. Yeah, right. A queue. And then we just go through the directions and keep on trying any coordinates that have
Okay.
what is the
I see.
condition?
All right. I think just go ahead and implement it. It makes sense. You're going the right
Okay.
direction.
All right, Pacific, Atlantic, and matrix. All right. Okay, let's start with some variables. We have directions here. So this stores like the directions that we would need to calculate. So we can go up, we can go down. Or technically, that's left or right, and we can go up and down. So these are the directions that we're going to be looping through in our breadth first search, and we need our lengths for the rows and also the columns. And then here, we need to loop through and figure out, actually, yeah, I'm gonna I forgot this. What is he? Atlantic.
Which level are you interviewing for again? They're asking, chat.
For Amazon or for all of them?
Amazon or all of them, yeah.
Yeah, SEE2.
Okay, nice.
I think we loop through.
You're gonna have to prep that dynamic programming for Google.
Yeah, I know, which I'm afraid of because I never touched it, or I rarely touch it, to be honest with you. For shoot, I've forgotten how to set this. I believe it's like this. For for range rows. Equals I think you said it like that. So these will store can reach. This will store all of the rows that we will actually or coordinates that can actually reach um, each ocean. So we're going to establish deck here, or DQ technically. Is it from collections? Import deck. Go in queue. And then, okay. So for row in rows, in range rows, or actually, yeah, in range rows. So here we're going to add everything that is in the coasts. Full in range, no. Let me see. You append.
Yo, Alex, long time. Are you still interviewing?
Matrix. So we're going to start. So here we're going up. Okay. So 0 and then full is -1. So that one. Yeah. Okay. So this goes through and adds in all of the wait, hold on. I'm tweaking. There we go. I got it. Okay, so these two lines add in and append all the coordinates that are touching the left side of the matrix, and also the let me see here. So that I can actually have visual. Okay, so row. Yeah, so this is going to touch like the Atlantic or Pacific side, this part, and then also add in this part as well, the ends, right? So the leftmost side and the rightmost side, the edges of those. And for coal and range coals, you append matrix 0, and then coal, and Q append matrix rows -1 coal. All right, so those pretty much both of them add into the queue like all of the edges, pretty much, because we technically know that those reach each ocean, or at least one ocean, right? I'll queue. Okay, here we go. Right, we're gonna cur. Oh, wait a second. I doing this wrong?
Yo,
I am
congrats,
doing
man.
this
That's so
wrong.
cool. Google Developers Group. That's really sick.
I messed up. Okay, we need to store the rows and columns. That's where I messed up on. Rather than like pulling it out, we're just gonna do it this way. Sorry. So we're gonna create a tuple for these. Per equals q dot pop left. Because we're doing breadth first search, we do pop left. And then for your row and your col and directions, right? So we're going to store. Okay. Yep. So we calculate the new row and new column. Your per row plus row per column plus direction column. Right. So here is the meat of the solution. Right. If you 0 is less than or equal to, or less than new row, I think it's equal to, or yeah, and then rows and 0 less than or equal to new column, col, and here is where we do the comparison. That is very important, where because we are starting from the end or the beginning and to the end, or yeah, since we're starting from the beginning, we have to flip that comparison. I'm trying to find the comparison here. Where is it? There's a lot of, where is it? It can flow if the height is less than or equal to the current cell's height, right? Okay, so the comparison here would be if matrix row and curve row and current column is less than or equal to the new row, new column. So this then believes I believe you just end it or add it technically. Append new row, new column, right? Is that it? I think that's it. Actually, hold on. If it is, we also okay. Because at some point we have to use these can reach Atlantic and can reach Pacific. I think we use it here.
Use it where?
Yeah, I think we do. Actually, do we? Let me just skip right by that because now I know that this actually will. start appending into the queue everything that reaches the criteria or reaches at least one of the oceans. Um, oh, do we have to set all of these to true as well? Actually, I think. Okay. Let me just skip through this.
I mean, you have the BFS here,
Yep.
but how would we know that if it could touch both of the oceans or not? Because we need to return which cells could eventually reach both the oceans. Right
Yeah.
now, we just have sort of boilerplate BFS.
Hmm. Um, yeah, this is pretty boilerplate. I'm trying to figure out what to use because we also at some point do the intersection, right? I think this is we can use like the can reach Atlantic, can reach Pacific list as our kind of like visited. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
But like, how would we actually use those?
um, I think here when we uh do the pop, we put that into the can reach Atlantic or can reach Pacific. But hmm, or do we need two queues? No, I don't think so. No, that's impossible. Um, yeah, I think you do at some point here, we do want to use these can reach Pacific, can reach Atlantic. Um, I think it's right here in between. How do you determine if it's the Atlantic or the Pacific?
Mm-hmm. That's a
That
problem.
question. I kind of regret my choice. Maybe depth first search was the.
What would make the difference if you use depth first search instead?
All right, you caught me in another lie. I actually well, um, let me think.
So I think your problem right here, right now, is when you're performing your BFS, you're
Yep.
looking when you're looking at a cell,
Hmm.
you don't know where this cell came from. Did the cell come from
That's true. From the Atlantic or
Atlantic or the Pacific? Like who NQ'd it? Was it somebody from the Pacific or somebody from the Atlantic? At the end of the day, you need to know both. You need to know if it was NQ'd by both the Pacific or and the Atlantic.
okay, okay. So then I guess we need to add a marker to the tuple. Then, um, in this case,
Well, what if we just perform a BFS from one of the oceans and then see where it gets to? See what cells it could reach from that specific ocean.
so you're suggesting two queues then?
So pretend we did a BFS from the Pacific Ocean.
Right,
Then we'll know all of the cells that can actually be reached by the Pacific Ocean, right?
right,
So now we know that for sure. And then
right.
how do we check the Atlantic? What if we do the same for the Atlantic and then you just take the intersection?
Uh, let me
It's like
see.
a two BFS solution. Two.
Right, right.
Yeah, we're pretty much at time though. So
No. Okay.
how did that go for you? How was that?
Um, honestly, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wish I, yeah, it definitely like this. I love graph problems. It's just like I've forgotten like the intuition on this one or how
Yeah.
to implement it in breadth first search. Like the first part, honestly, like the first question was pretty fun to me.
Mm.
just because like that follow up was very interesting. And obviously, like in the real interviews, I would get follow ups, right?
Yeah.
And so, uh, yeah, I just liked having to think that way. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, like strings are the bane of my existence. So it was good practice to really um, work with strings because generally I try to avoid them
Yeah.
like in my practice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun. I
Mm.
liked it.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go through the feedback. I think you definitely clarified the question well. So
Hmm.
you started off. You have a good process clarifying the question, posing the or telling me the naive solution and maybe ways that you could improve it.
Uh-huh.
And then I think you said the naive solution. You said the
Mhm.
kind of the optimal solution, then said it was naive, and then
Oh, really?
continued to look for some other approach. But then you were going a bit off track, but you had
Okay,
a good approach at first. I think you
gotcha.
just need to do more practice on strings because you need to
Yeah,
memorize the common string functions. You need to be able to know how strip works, how dot reverse
yeah,
works, how reversed works and returns you iterable, how split works and where you could like not include a parameter, split by all white spaces.
gotcha.
So
Yeah,
just understanding all of the common string functions, you shouldn't
mhm,
be able to look it up because, or you shouldn't need to look up the common string functions
gotcha.
eventually. So it's just more practice. Like you knew what it was, but you just had to look it up. So that just tells me that yeah, you just haven't used them in a long time.
Yeah. I was honing in on more patterns that were like like binary search, things like that. So yeah, I definitely need practice on string manipulation. So yeah, that's good feedback.
Yeah. So just prompt GPT. Like
Uh-huh.
what are all the common string functions, and then just
Cool.
memorize those, or I
Gotcha.
just learn by doing too.
Uh-huh.
So just do some basic string functions, or when you're practicing, do basic string questions at least a couple times a week. I know they suck. I hate them too.
Yeah.
Let's see. So when it comes to the second question, yeah,
Uh-huh.
you understood the solution, but yeah, you mentioned you've seen it already.
Yep.
So one thing I would watch out for in the interview is if you've seen the question before, you should still pretend that you've never seen it before, because
Okay.
well, like the way that you kind of explained the solution, I could tell that you've
Mhm.
seen it before. Regardless, like if you even if you told me that you've never seen it before, I would have knew you would have seen it before. Because when
Right.
you're, for example, when you're writing the the queue, and then you
Hmm.
got to the part where like you had to flip the comparison, you're just writing the code pretty much from top to bottom.
Yep.
You're like, oh, this is where I need to flip the comparison instead of
Got.
saying why we need to flip it. So
Hmm.
instead of saying, oh, this is where we need to do it, sort of like because you memorized it, instead frame it in, oh, I think we need to do a comparison here. I think we'd have to do in the reverse because we're going from the oceans to inland. So if
Gotcha.
it's not reversed, then we'd be going in decreasing order from the Pacific. So have like an explanation like that that's more specific, or that doesn't sound like you memorized it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, I was, I mean, I was definitely trying to actively recall the solution
Yeah,
there. So,
but yeah,
yeah.
you have a good boilerplate BFS with
Hmm.
the directions, with the way you generate the can reach arrays
Yep.
and loop through it. But yeah, I think just being able to, you just didn't get to the right solution, which
Hmm.
was performing a BFS from the Atlantic, and then performing a BFS. So when you BFS from the can reach Atlantic while you're doing the BFS, you're like setting all of the nodes that you can see to true in the can reach Atlantic.
Oh, it's true. Oh, okay.
And then you do the same with can reach Pacific. And after
Gotcha.
you just loop through the grid, and if any
Uh-huh.
cell is true in both, you return that
Yep.
result. But yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. So I initialized it.
yeah. I think the
Uh,
good thing is you obviously clearly know how to code. You just
yep.
need more practice on the algorithms. So it's
Yeah.
just more just fi- learning all the patterns, or yeah, just the problem solving aspect of it. But at least you already know how to code. You don't have to even think about that when you're
Yeah.
doing the question.
Yeah. Like I said, I just need to hone in a little bit more on the patterns. And yeah, cool. Thank you
Cool.
for the all the
All right,
feedback.
man. Good luck. Let me know if you need to do another one. When's your interviews?
I for sure need another one.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to schedule the Microsoft one.
Oh, you got a
Um,
Microsoft one too? Holy,
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
all of them. Google,
Yeah,
Microsoft.
bro, I honestly like if you look, I don't want to dox myself, but
Yeah.
you like see my name. But like if you look at my LinkedIn, you like check like my resume, my personal website. Like to be honest, I was not expecting to like get callbacks from like Google or Microsoft. Like
Yeah.
I literally come from like a no-name state university.
Hmm.
So like it was very shocking to me that they actually were like responding. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I that's why like I'm like so nervous at like trying to do these mocks because now
Bro,
like it's actually getting real and I
yeah.
never realized that I could actually like get callbacks from them. So
Bro, you might get three different, all three of them, and compete, make them compete against each other for salary, and
that'd
come
be the
out
dream.
come out in 2026 making a crap ton of money. That'd be crazy.
Well, the only thing is like I'm trying to push out Google as much as I can because that's like the dream, right?
Yeah.
Like I would rather be in Google than any of them, to be honest. So I'm trying to like delay that. I was like, hey, how long can I
Yeah.
prepare?
Chat's asking what your resume looks like.
I can send it. I can anonymize it and send
Yeah.
it to you.
Send it
And
in
then you can
the
tell them.
resume review. Or oh yeah, I'll email you.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, I
All
can
right.
email. Like to be honest, guys, like it's like I think I just know how to word my impact because I actually do have a good amount of impact in my
Mm-hmm.
current team or in my current company. I think that's literally it.
Yeah.
So I
All
think
right.
the best thing is like if you can wordsmith your resume, I think it like which I just realized is like it does matter more, to be honest.
Mm.
So
Yeah. No, good luck. You should schedule another one. Continue
oh, I
practicing,
definitely
and
will.
yeah, we'll work together to get you prepped for these. For sure, you're gonna get it. I like doing these interviews,
Yeah.
especially when someone has something a month away, where we can go through multiple sessions to just see how they improve.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. I'll probably schedule another one. I just want to learn from your feedback.
Hmm.
So I'll probably give it like a week or two. I
Yeah.
have like a no name company interview like this
Nice.
Friday,
Yeah.
so I'll do that. Practice some more, and then I'll definitely come back for sure.
Yeah. No, that's the best strat as well. Take a bunch of interviews at companies you don't care about
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Just get your reps in, because you don't want to go into the Google interview and it's the
yep.
first interview you've ever done. You're gonna choke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't want that cooldown, bro. Amazon, I
Yeah.
don't care about the cooldown. Like I wanted to schedule my Amazon interview first, just so that like we all know how Amazon is. So
Yeah.
I would rather take the hit there than Microsoft or Google. So
Hmm.
cool.
Cool. All right, man. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, chat. He has interviews everywhere. That's insane.